What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Our book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled I Deserve versus I Earned. Sometimes in life we feel like we deserve certain things. And when you deserve something, it's a bit of entitlement, or you feel like you've inherited something, which is entitlement because it's given to you from somebody else. Nothing's wrong with that to a degree. But there's a different mentality when you feel like you deserve something and when you've earned something. And before I go further, sometimes people earn things and they don't get them, so they actually feel like they deserve something. I'm not necessarily talking about those people, but I might touch on that part. But there are people who just have a feeling like they deserve. I deserve, that's their, self-confidence and self-awareness. And, you're going to treat me a certain way because I deserve respect. I deserve to be treated fairly. I deserve these things in life because of who I am, And you feel like because you are who you are, things should be handed to you, certain things. And for some people who take that approach in life, is like, people give them things because they do feel like, I deserve it, so, this is my stance. And in some ways, I think people believe that's a powerful stance to take, because if you take the stance that you deserve it and somebody should give you because you deserve, people are gonna assume, wow, that person's strong and powerful because they make sure they get things and they get things done. Well, I think that has a limit and a threshold, because it comes to a certain point where nobody cares what you deserve. Because you could say you deserve something off of, this is your hustle. You're lazy, so you throw it. So this is your, I deserve is kind of in the avenue of throwing a tantrum like a child, and people just giving you what you say you deserve to shut you up. And then you're going to get a point, and I think more people do this than actually deserve something. You get what I'm saying? So I think people do that, I deserve, you going to do this, that, and the third type of thing. But you hit a threshold where people are like, no, you don't deserve nothing. You ain't getting nothing. Why? Because you didn't earn nothing. I'm a good person, so I deserve something. Well, how is that supposed to be qualified? Because some people feel like they're good people, but they don't have a resume that says it. They don't have a history of actions that say that they're a good person. They just saying that they're a good person, so they deserve to be treated a certain way. Like I think that's problematic, because it's not living in reality. You're just saying what you want, what you feel like you should get, what you feel like you should receive, what somebody should give to you. But a person who feels like they deserves, I think more so nowadays, is just an entitled brat, who, if you ask them what have they given, because they may come across people who have the same I deserve mentality, but they do, when they come across the people like that, do they give them what they deserve? And I would bet that the answer is no. I would bet that the answer is no. And part of the issue that I have with this title and this subject is a lot of times people who feel like they deserve stuff never put their name in the hat. Their name in the ring. They never actually got in the game. They because they deserve it, they stopped at I deserve this, and they circumventing putting themselves in the game. And that's a problem, because what it says is you wanna circumvent the process of success or failure. You're not willing to fail, and you're not willing to succeed. You're willing for somebody to give you their success, even if they had to be successful off of learning from their own failures, right? So versus I earned. You don't have to be a good or bad person if you earn something. I'm going to tell you why. Because you put your name in the hat. You put yourself in the ring. You got good at something and got a reputation for something, whether you were a good or bad person because of the sweat equity that you put into whatever you're doing. You know, being a good or bad person has nothing to do with you earning something, because you might have put in just as much work. If you're a bad person, you might have put in just as much work as a good person. If you're a good person, you might have learned the tricks of the trade just like a bad person. So the skills don't care if you're a good or bad individual, or can be deemed a good or bad individual. So when you earn it, you literally put in the time and put in the blood, sweat, and tears. And when you earn it, you know, you understand that you might earn it and still take a loss, and you deserve it. That's what I was talking about while I paused in the beginning. Because there are certain people who earn things and didn't get them. But so they actually deserve things. Different from the person who just feels like they deserve it and they take a certain stance. Some people have to fight for the very things that they've already earned. They fought, you know, they earned it, they fought for it, they won, but then they got to fight for it to get it. That's the difference. Like, some people got to win twice, which is, you know, unfortunate, unnecessary in my opinion, but this happens all the time. I think it's the 7th. So Byron Allen is going to the Supreme Court on the 13th about a case he already won twice, 2 other times in 2 other courts. And he got to spend more money for this time too. So just because he won, he earned it. You know, he can say I deserve it, but here's the problem: somebody's fighting to say I'm not gonna give it to you, even though you earned it. And I think we don't take that into consideration. That, you know, people who earn it have a whole different avenue. People who earn it, put all the equity in. People who earn it, when it comes to blood, sweat, and tears, people who deserve it, people who earned it might have lapses in their security or insecurity, mental stability. They might have breakdowns. They might have triumphs. It's a roller coaster, and this is what makes winning the thrill of victory so thrilling, is because the journey was a roller coaster. And when a person earns something, you know, they know where they started and where they finished. They know, you know, how they pushed themselves and how the moments pushed them, and how there were times that they wanted to give up. There were times that they were beaten. There were times they were broken. There were times that they advanced and they got momentum. There were times that they were unsure. There were times that they just failed. There were times that they exceeded. They went through the whole gamut, and it all comes to a head at a certain point where, you know, you could put a year's worth of work into a small window of time. People, and a lot of people don't understand that. The people who earn things realize, you know, there's no such thing as a quote unquote overnight success. There are people who've been doing things for a very long time who've been overlooked or underlooked, but have been consistently doing what they do to earn their place in the world. And we don't take that into consideration. All right? Yep. And that's where I think a lot of us go wrong, is because when people say they earned it, they actually meant it. And then some people, you know, they shortchange earning, and they think because they did a little bit, they earned some stuff, but you haven't outworked the people who really put the work in. And some people, you know, are fortunate. They have better networks, better support system, better social circles, and they can get farther ahead in a shorter amount of time than a person who's put in a long body of work, who isn't really progressing like that. But if they keep pushing, they're gonna get there. You know, So when I thinking about this, when you feel like you deserve it, you don't deserve it more than the person who earned it. Just in my opinion. So that's the end of this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.